Hello Chronoholics, I am Dr. Karan Madan. As the leader of the biggest watch community in India, it is our duty to bring you terrific collector stories from across the country. And today, our guest for this episode of Chronoholic Stories is an accomplished figure in the halls of power, an advocate in the Supreme Court of India, Mr. Diljeet Titus. How are you, sir?
Very good, Karan. Good evening.
Welcome to Chronoholic.
Thank you, and it's a pleasure and a privilege to be here.
Absolutely. I think we are in a lovely space, and our background also speaks volumes about what we are all about today.
Right.
So, you are the founder of Titus and Company, one of the premier law firms of the country that deals with international businesses, bringing different countries' businesses to India and representing some of the biggest names in the country. Tell us about your journey in the law world.
So I went to college at St. Stephen's and did my law, and then worked with a law firm, Singhani and Company, in Delhi. I was in college from 83 to 86, did my law from 86 to 89, and then from 89 until 97, I worked with Singhani and Company.
Sure.
They were one of the two premier law firms at that time with G.B. Datta Chandji.
Right.
And I was very fortunate to have been employed there. I worked 7 years.
Sure.
And that was 89. In 91, we had liberalization happen.
That's right. That's right.
And then we had telecom opening up. We had oil. We had coal. We had thermal power plants coming in.
That's
we had, all of these power projects, water projects, automobile manufacturing companies that were coming in, ancillary spare part manufacturing companies coming in. So, I got to cut my teeth on some of the best corporates at that time,
Right.
So we brought in Microsoft Corporation, we brought in
Fantastic.
Intergraph,
Wow.
we set up General Motors Corporation, Hyundai,
Yeah.
and it was amazing because we worked on all rounds of cellular telephone licensing, basic phone licensing, mobile radio trunking, and paging, and so it was.
So you've been in it and bringing everything to India. You've been doing that for ever since, in fact.
Ever since it was conceived and announced, and then we saw and ran through the various rounds of how the policies went on improving and changing.
That's right.
We were helping all of these companies who were interested in investing in India to understand what the policy was, to understand the business environment, to understand the industrial environment, the employment environment, the labor situation over here, and helping them navigate through all of this. But I think one of the most satisfying moments for us was when we helped IKEA to enter the country.
So that's very recent.
That was 2012, yes.
Okay.
That was 2012. Because our single brand retail trading policy didn't allow companies like IKEA to India because
That's right.
The sourcing policies weren't good. And so we worked with the government through IKEA.
Sure.
And it was amazing working with IKEA because I think they're a very, very disciplined group of people, very thoughtful. And they were very clear that, if we make a decision to come, it's going to be a decision to stay for the long. And so we ultimately convinced the government to come with a policy which was acceptable to all single brand retailers. And then IKEA was approved to make a €3 billion investment.
That's right.
We also do all of the work for H&M, for Haynes and Morris, and then for Decathlon, then for Red Bull and Ferrero Rocher, the chocolate company.
Oh, wow, okay.
So we set them up in Baramati and the entire manufacturing facility.
Wonderful.
And I remember when they came and met with us for the first time, they asked us, Mr. Titus, what do you think, how we will do in this country? And I said, I see Ferrero Rocher chocolates being gifted at every Diwali, at every sweet shop. They said, that's what is our dream too. And just 4 years later, you had Ferrero Rocher chocolates which were there at every place.
Before we come to the watches, let's just talk about your other hobby, so to speak. You said carpets, luxury silverware, paintings, art, of course.
Automotive art,
Automotive art, there you go. So
Furniture.
much furniture, of course, luxury furniture that you've collected over the years, over the decades. How did that come about, and what has your experience been collecting, curating pieces of Indian furniture, silverware, carpet? What does it take? What motivates you?
So, once I set up my firm, typically you start thinking about investing in luxury or in passions when you have spare time and you have the spare money for it to invest in it. So thankfully, when I set up my firm, that is when I discovered that now there is this spare money that I have. So let me start investing it.
Sure.
And the first thing I wanted to do was to buy a car similar to what my grandparents owned.
Right.
And which was a Chevrolet and an Austin.
Right.
And so the first car I bought was an Austin.
Right.
And then later on a Chevrolet. The reason I bought the Chevrolet and the Austin was because my childhood was spent in those cars visiting with my grandparents. It was nostalgia in a big way.
Yeah.
And so that was, I think, the primer for getting into collecting cars. And then, like they say, there's a fool born every minute. You know, you go on buying cars. And at one time, I had about 235 cars. And then, and then I realized that, like, I mean, in my lifetime, I wouldn't be able to restore all these cars because all these cars needed restoration.
That's right.
So then I downsized and kept the best of the best.
Right.
So I've kept my Minerva Type AL, which is the only one of its kind in Asia.
Wow.
And then there's Bugatti, which is the only vintage restored Bugatti in the country.
Yeah.
And then my studs, and then a couple of Auburns and Rolls Royces and Buicks and Cadillacs. And so, I mean, a lot of very special cars, many of which belong to royalty.
Right.
Not the Bugatti, because the Bugatti we'd imported. Spending time with these cars gives me a lot of joy and fulfillment. Yeah. Because I get to sort of spend time reading these shop manuals, ordering parts, engaging with my workers, with my team of mechanics.
Do you also dive into it, get your hands dirty?
I dive into them, yeah.
Very nice.
So especially when we are getting ready for the shows and the events, we work, we all work together, I mean, I'm under the car for days, and sometimes my office moves over here.
Yeah.
When I was taking my studs for the Pebble Beach Concours in 2018, for almost 3 months, I was, working out of a garage.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how do you balance it all? I mean, law is not easy, cars is not easy. It's all, well, both take a lot of time.
So I have a great team of fellow seniors, my colleagues who work with me. I've been very fortunate.
You said you had 235 cars at one point.
Yes.
But now, and you've downsized. So now, how many cars do you have?
I've got about 72.
72.
Yeah.
I think you can easily get to about 100 or so.
No. I want to. So, Karan, the thing is, I've been spending the last about 10 years now, almost. I mean, almost 10 years now, in restoring these cars correctly.
Yeah.
So, restoration requires a huge amount of research.
Yeah, sure.
Because restoration means that you must try to bring this car back to the same
original shape that it was
in. To the same state as when it left the factory.
Sure.
It then also requires you to work with people who understand bringing it back to as close as possible to the original.
Right.
If you're trying to bring it back to a concours condition, taking it to a concours show, which I love doing, because I think that's one great way of showing how great Indian craftsmanship is.
That's right.
On the world stage.
How easy it is to source parts in this time and age?
One is that we sort of typically recondition the same part and we use it.
Sure.
If you're lucky, you could get good serviceable parts from other collectors or other part dealers, and in many cases there are some parts which are still being manufactured by people who are supporting the hobby, who are out there. So parts are not a problem.
Parts are not a problem as such. Okay.
What do you think? And then we even are able to make them here in India.
You can fabricate them.
Almost anything. Yeah.
That's wonderful. So what do you think is the biggest challenge that you face while restoring a car to its original state?
So, I mean, the first is actually all of the research to authenticate that car, authenticate the restoration of the car, because the car is a sum of many pieces, So we'd come up with a document called our authenticity notes, where each and every component and part is sort of documented as to what it should be. And then working with restorers to sort of get them to replicate exactly that,
Is there a sizable network of people around the world who are doing all this full time like you?
So the great thing is that we've got thousands of collectors current around. Wonderful. I mean, it's amazing. And I think almost every car collector that I've found also has a very special interest in watches.
Yeah, there's a massive
overlap, of course. So cars and watches go together.
Sure,
And in that sense, and there are people around the world who are similarly doing what we are doing, over here. So they're probably about, at least probably about 50, 55 of us in this country who are similarly engaged in researching and showing our cars in concours condition,
Let's quickly briefly touch upon the beautiful Bugatti behind us. Tell us about it. I mean, this is the only Bugatti in Asia, you said.
No, so this is the only Only vintage restored Bugatti.
Okay.
We have another complete Bugatti, which is with a collector in Mumbai, which is under restoration.
Right.
So because this car has been restored about 3 years ago, and we've been driving her around and taking her to various shows. So she's a 1929 Type 44 Bugatti, which I bought from the Netherlands, and she's on the Netherlands register. The car had a very bad sort of body.
Okay.
So we then rebuilt the body here, and we had a set of pictures to go by, because we wanted to replicate
the original state of the
original,
car,
another original body.
Okay.
Yeah. So this was not the original on the car.
Okay.
So we took some. I mean, we sort of wanted to, since the car was so special, the Bugatti, there's so much of an enigma and there's so much of mystique around it. We thought, let's build a car without a roof. So this is a 4-seater torpedo sports tourer.
Right.
And yeah, we had fun doing it, and she's one of the very classic styles. There are probably about 3 or 4 cars of this body style which survive in the world.
Wow.
But this is, of course, I mean, as a homage to that body style that was very, very common, because it's not an original body. But the car otherwise mechanically is all original, and she drives beautifully and she runs beautifully.
And you drive it?
We drive it, and then she will be at Dubai Concours in February next year.
Wonderful. So are you putting this car into any of the competitive categories?
Yes, this car is in the Indian
coach
builders then and now.
Okay, sure.
So she's going to be featuring in the now category.
Now category.
Yeah. It's thanks to people like, Kazad,
Yeah.
Mr. Alan Almeida, Shivadan Kanoria, Mr. Barbani, Mr. Vivek Goenka, that we have these cars which are sort of being restored correctly and properly, and where we are able to take them onto an international stage.
That's right.
And people see that the cars have been restored correctly.
So, okay, I get the cars.
So it's the same.
Look, I get the cars.
Yeah.
So what's the Dakota for? Tell us about that.
The Dakota has got a very, very interesting story,
Yeah.
So like, I was sitting in office, and I received this call from this guy, Bahadur Singh, who sells me cars from time to time. And he said, sir, ek Hawai Jahaj bika hua. So I said, listen, I don't want any of these new Hawai Jahajs which I see on the Delhi-Chandigarh highway.
Right.
No Airbuses and no Boeings and all. He said, nahi sir, purani Hawai Jahaj hai. He said, aap kuch paise le lijiye. Maine kaha, theek hai, I'll take my checkbook and let's go to Dwarka. School mein we reach there, we see 2 gentlemen who were attempting to start off a aeronautical technical training institute.
Okay.
The school had given them the ground. This aircraft was parked over there.
Okay.
They were the sole bidders at Airport Authority auction.
Okay.
They bought it in 2004. By 2005, I think over finances they had quarreled.
Okay.
And they decided to sell the only asset that they have, which was this aircraft.
Okay.
So the thing was now to find someone.
Fair enough.
Now an aircraft of this size, a Dakota, with a wingspan of 97 feet and a length of 63 feet.
Wow.
I mean, who do you find?
Right.
A couple of months had passed, and they hadn't found anyone. And then they contacted Bahadur, and Bahadur said, let me check with him.
Yeah.
Because saab ke paas farm hai, to shayad wahan pe rakh lenge wo.
Okay.
So he gave me a call, and I said, let's go in. When I looked at the size of this plane, I said, man, this is like, I mean, if I can buy this and if we can transport it to my farm, it looks so beautiful.
Yeah.
And as kids, you love cars and planes and railways.
What do boys
like
even have? Cars, trains, and aircraft.
Anything that moves, works us up, So I mean, they asked for a very reasonable price, and I convinced one of them to. I said, "How did you bring it here?" They said, "I mean, we dismantled it, and we reassembled it here on the grounds in the school at Dwarka."
Right.
I said, "I'll buy it provided you dismantle it and you bring it over here."
Okay. Has this been restored as well?
Yes, so Gurmukh Singh, he does amazing restorations on motorcycles.
Okay.
When this plane came, I said, Gurmukh, you have a look, and let's at least try and restore this plane from the outside.
Sure.
He painted this entire aircraft.
Right.
We scraped it off.
Sure.
While scraping it off, we lost a number of rivets. So then we sourced the same rivets, and we got those rivets put back. Okay. And then we painted from the outside to protect it from the elements mainly.
Sure.
Then the interior restoration has to happen.
Okay.
So on the inside, it's very interesting because it was owned by the Airport Authority. Flown till 96, owned by them till 2004.
Okay.
And then I bought in 2005.
Right. Since we're boys discussing boys' toys, do you ever dream of flying it? I know it's not airworthy anymore.
So the interesting part is that one day I got a call from a gentleman. He said, I'm Mike Edwards and I fly for British Airways and I'm an ex-RAF pilot. And he said, Diljeet, I've heard you've got this plane. I want to come and have a look. Yeah. And since I'm doing the maintenance, he also restored the vintage Spitfire of the Indian Air Force. Right. So he said I can come over and have a look. and probably hopefully help you to sort of restore this. I said, fine. He's come and had a look because our plan is to sort of just get the engine started.
Sure.
We don't want to fly this.
Right. But then tell me, is there a method to the madness?
I mean, when I went into collecting, I loved anything that represented transport. You know?
Sure.
So even scale models.
A man of many tastes, of course. And then let's finally come down to the watches because you have a fantastic collection on the table. Let's in fact talk about your first ever watch, the namesake watch, Titus. Tell us about this.
Yes. So this is, I think, amongst my most precious watches, Karan, because a Titus watch was gifted to me by my mother.
Right.
When I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
And so that's my first watch I ever owned and which I wore.
Sure. And this is in original condition? Have you changed anything about it?
So this was used by my father for some time.
Okay.
And then, so I got like typical in families in those days. This was 1976 when I turned 10. It was, I think, far more valuable because my father had worn it for some time. Yeah,
of course. Yeah. But then what came next?
Then, so I had this, and then I had a Raymond wheel for some time, which got badly damaged, I think, over the years. So that's not here. Then I bought this Omega.
Yeah.
And this I bought when I set up my firm. So almost everything that I have, whether it was, especially watches, typically were always to sort of reward myself for having done something having led something well.
A beautiful watch, no doubt. Congratulations on this as well. I mean, first watch, like you said, with your own income, with your own money.
Yes.
That also has to mean so much, doesn't it?
That does mean, This was my first special watch, I would think, at that time,
You're a big car collector. I would never ask you what your favorite car is because as a watch collector, I can't answer that question. I'm pretty sure you can't answer what's your favorite car.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure you can answer what's your favorite watch.
So, first of all, as a brand, Breguet.
Yeah.
And then the watch that I've loved the most and which I have worn the most has been my...
the Marine Big Date,
The Marine Big Date, the Breguet.
Yeah.
So I've worn this almost constantly.
Yeah.
And I also like wearing watches which other fellow watch collectors can appreciate.
That's right.
Because then, that's the conversation and
Absolutely.
the bond. And they got bored seeing it for a long time. So then I've worn my...
Then you started going to the gold watches.
I've gone to my other one now.
Nice. Now, there's also a lovely Breguet tradition on your wrist.
Right.
And you have a similar watch in white gold.
In white gold, yeah.
Why the same watch in different metals?
I just loved the look of this watch. You're seeing every part of the watch.
Certainly.
The front and the back.
Yeah.
You also get to see the time. A lot of design into it. Yeah. And I think a lot of thought has gone into designing this beautiful watch. So I just love it for the way it represents engineering from a very visual perspective. And I typically liked, where I can see the time clearly. So clear dials, Roman numerals, white dials which are sort of more visible.
Yeah.
The black dial, of course, is more like a dress watch for the evening.
That it is, yeah.
So my Calatrava was also the same.
That's
and then my JLC is even the Roadster.
Pretty much,
yeah.
No, so I'll come to the Roadster because that's a very different watch from what you own already. And that also goes very well with your car theme. But tell me about the Patek Calatrava. How did this come about?
The Calatrava was because my grandfather owned one.
Yeah.
And I was always sort of fascinated with those. And I wanted to own one. So, I thought I must buy this. So I was in Germany and then I fortunately got a good deal on this from the store. And so this has been one of my proudest watches that I love wearing.
Yeah, no,
and I've worn it a lot.
Yeah,
this is the third or fourth strap,
Oh, really? That's amazing. Okay, so cool. And you always go back to the source to get your straps?
I always go back, absolutely.
We've seen the Calatrava, the JLC Master right here. What a beautiful watch this is. Just hand winding, super thin watch. This has also been worn a lot?
Worn a lot, yes. Yeah? The JLC was, this is one of my early purchases.
Yeah. And then comes the Lange.
Yes.
1.15. This is a substantial watch as compared to the rest. But how did this come out? Because it's such a beautiful watch.
It is, and I loved it for the very clean classic lines that it has,
Yeah.
I just love the look of this watch.
Right.
It's a bit oversized for my wrist.
Right.
But I still love it because, I still liked it and I bought it because I thought I should have one different size in my collection.
That's right.
Just for that reason.
Yeah. Let's come to the fun side of your collection, so to speak. You have the Cartier Roadster.
Yes,
Very motorsport.
Very motorsport, yes.
Isn't it? It's meant to be like that, the chronograph function, everything.
Yes.
Tell me about this. How did this come about?
So, we had the first Cartier Concours d'Elegance that happened in India in 2008.
Yeah.
And I mean, we were all of us car collectors were amazed that, Cartier is doing something like
That's
this.
right.
I mean, they're doing a concourse for cars.
Sure.
And I said, if I'm going to, take my car, and I had 4 cars entered, I said, I must wear a Cartier.
Might as
I have to
well,
be wearing one.
Yeah.
I had a Cartier pen, but
Yeah.
I thought, no, I must also wear a Cartier watch. So
Yeah.
I went in and I bought this.
Yeah.
And I said, so you have to show me something which has a connection with
That's right.
cars. And
Yeah.
then they said, we have the Roadster. So
Yeah.
and we had a Roadster class also
Yeah.
at the Cartier concourse.
That's right.
So this is a lot of memories from 2008 when I bought this.
Then again, you have the lovely Louis Vuitton GMT. I mean, this is, so to see a not so modern Louis Vuitton watch take center stage in your collection, tell me about this. How did this come about?
So this I bought about 15 years ago. This was probably one of the first watches that LV sold in India.
Sure.
And I particularly like the GMT because it shows you, it has a twin movement.
Yeah.
Shows 2 time
That's right,
zones
that's
on
right.
2 different dials on
That's
the same
right.
watch.
Yeah.
So especially on travels, this is my favorite watch. So I
Lovely.
set it up for travel and then...
And a very different watch, I must say, from the rest of your collection, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes.
You know, I'm sensing a trend here that you're very partial to gold. That I can clearly see. There's a Langa up front, there's a Patek Calatrava,
Yes.
there are multiple brigades on the table. What kind of brings you to the golden watches or these precious metal watches?
So for me, gold represents some form of jewelry.
Sure.
And I think when you wear gold or even white gold for that matter, it sort of dresses you up a bit.
That's right.
So I think gold is my color.
Yeah,
And I
sure.
like to wear it. So that's been the natural sort of attraction towards it.
Yeah.
But for days and more sporting sort of activities, I'm quite happy wearing stainless steel or
Right.
white gold with the brigades.
Yeah.
Once I started wearing the brigades, I became so happy with sort of the watches.
Right.
And you get used to it, you
Yeah.
know. And
But-
time to time, then I like to wear my long jeans
Sorry.
pocket watch.
Yeah.
And I loved the watch. I loved the way it looked,
Yeah.
large white dial. But
Yeah.
I thought that let you put it to good use. So then it goes around my
Yeah.
my belt loop and into
Wow.
my coin pocket, and
Yeah.
the chain hangs out, and it looks nice.
That's pretty much contrary to the trend, isn't it? People wear pocket watches when they dress up in a tux or in a proper three-piece suit, and you wear it with jeans.
I wear jeans, yeah.
So you're
And
bucking
it
the
looks
trend.
good. It
Yeah, I'm
looks
sure.
good,
I'm sure it does. A
And
Longines
a
pocket,
lot of people have been wearing it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A Longines pocket watch is a classic.
It's a classic,
nobody can actually fault it for
Yes.
being what it is. Just winding down this section of your watches, you also have a wonderful cigar design.
Yes.
Highly unexpected.
Very.
Because when you pull these out, I'm like, theek hai, this is Mr. Titus at his core. This is how he is, what he is. And then you pull out this.
Yes.
This is a gift from your friend, isn't it?
This is from my friend, my very good friend Vaibhav Chauhan, who runs Juggernaut.
Yeah. Tell me something. Where do you draw the parallel between cars and watches?
I think cars and watches are inseparable. Just like in the practice of law, the way I look at it, you're looking at precision, you're looking at being very exact and correct. You are the same way with your selection of cars, your maintenance and your upkeep and your restoration. And the same goes for my watches,
Yeah.
So always make it a point, if I'm giving it to a repair person, I in fact insist on being there
That's right.
to see if there's enough time. I'm willing to give that time,
Yeah.
but do it in front of me. I want to see how it's
That's
done.
right, yeah.
If it's a strap, whether it's leather or rubber, whatever, it has to be the original. And I'll search out, spend time,
Yeah.
wait outside,
Right.
beg, plead. I remember I was I think this was at the Milan store of Pate Philip, and I had one strap changed. I said, see,
Yeah.
I'm from India, and we don't get these straps,
That's
so
right.
can you give me 2 more?
Yeah.
So he went inside. He said, I'll have to check with
again.
my boss.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
So he must have thought he shouldn't be a dealer,
Yeah,
so he
right.
went inside and he said, and it was very reasonable.
Of course.
So he went inside and he said that, are you the owner of this watch? I said, yeah, I'm the owner of this watch. So he said, okay, we make a special exemption and we give you 2 straps.
Wow, that's amazing.
2 extra straps.
Lovely. When you drive them, is there also competitive driving that you do with them, or is it just for showcase?
The competitive driving is more about sort of completing a certain distance
Right.
in a certain time frame. So it's like more of a time, speed, distance
Got
thing.
it.
It's
Okay.
not about racing.
It's not racing.
It's
though.
not racing. No,
Okay.
no.
Okay. And
These cars-
it's meeting certain milestones. you
It's
would
meeting
say.
certain milestones within, and the car completing the course.
Right. Of course.
Not sort of breaking
Has
down.
it ever happened that you're doing such a thing and your car is broken down and it needs repairs on the
Yes, I was in the US
Yeah.
at the Pebble Beach Concourse, and we
Yeah.
were doing the Tour d'Elegance, and I was driving my studs, and I forgot to fill up the tank.
Oh wow.
She was half full.
Okay.
And I forgot that we were on these mountainous roads.
Right.
So it's a 70-mile drive. And we were on these mountainous roads, and suddenly the car sputtered because the fuel had all splashed to the rear of the tank. And it wasn't sucking, it wasn't sort of driving in fuel.
Yeah.
So the car stopped, and then when we would flatten out, she would again be fine.
Yeah.
Again an incline. So the lesson I learned was, I mean, if you are on a competitive run like that, ensure the tanks are full.
Yeah, sure.
So cars have failed to proceed, as they say.
Wise words to live by.
Cars have failed to proceed. Yeah.
Lovely. Well, as watch collectors, we always have a wish list. What's yours? What's coming next?
Some more Breguets,
Some more Breguets?
And probably a Pate.
Yeah?
Yes, yeah.
Would you like to give a message to fellow Chronoholics and watch collectors and car collectors across the country?
Yes, I think all of us collectors should have a collection policy. So select your watches with care, look after them, keep them in one safe, dehumidified space, clean them, service them, look after them, wear them with pride, and have fellowship with fellow watch collectors, and enjoy this and grow this more.
This has been educational, informative, and a lot of fun. Heartfelt thanks to Mr. Diljeet Titus for being our guest on this episode of Chronoholic Stories. We'll be back with another episode very soon. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching.